stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. supported right-sizing measures in the Philippine National Police to avoid redundant functions. The camp of suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo confirms plan to file an appeal before the office of the Ombudsman tomorrow regarding her suspension. President Marcos Jr. orders the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, to observe maximum tolerance in West Philippine Sea despite the latest harassment by China against Filipino soldiers. And we will discover why the United States House of Representatives passed a bill to sanction International Criminal Court, or ICC. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, the 5th of June, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harley Delgado. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. supported some of the initiatives of the Philippine National Police. These include the creation of Internal Legal Department and the right sizing in the PNP. Nelma Buhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. supported right-sizing measures in the Philippine National Police to avoid redundant functions. The chief executive met with PNP leaders last Tuesday, June 4, in a command conference and told them that right-sizing would help enhance programs and projects. Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos explained during the Malacanang briefing on Wednesday, June 5, that President Marcos wants to maximize the police force to avoid duplicity of work.
Ang nangyayari, yung iba nasa office lang, nagkakaroon ng duplicity of work, yung ang report ni Chief PNP, ang sabi ng Pangulo, tama yan, para imbis na nasa opisina yung mga police, at least nasa baba. Importante sa grassroots.
Also, President Marcos has ordered a study for the possibility of creating a legal department within the PNP as part of the administration's efforts to protect the welfare of the police officers against harassments and flimsy accusations.
Problema kasi namin, lalo na sa drugs, basta ang police ay mag-raid, tapos because of technicality, let's say 3 witness rule, madismiss yan, babalikan niyang mga police, didemanda yan. So once ikaw ay police, mademanda ka, gagastos ka sariling pera mo sa abogado, kinakabahan ka pa, suspended ka pa, pending investigation, ayaw mo nang ma-assign pa sa drugs, ayaw mo na. At nangyayari yan.
The President said the government cannot just ignore the welfare of the police officers, especially ordinary policemen and women who dedicated their lives to doing good in the PNP but cannot afford a lawyer or seek legal services. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
Human rights lawyer Attorney Chel Jokno tells the House Committee on Human Rights that more than 20,000 people died in the drug war under the Duterte administration from July 2016 to November 2017. The report came directly from the office of the former president and was mentioned in a resolution by the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the House panel asserted that their investigation into the alleged extrajudicial killings, or EJKs, in the Duterte administration's anti-drug war has no connection to the International Criminal Court's probe. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The second hearing of the House Committee on Human Rights on the alleged extrajudicial killings, or EJKs, that occurred during the anti-drug war campaign of the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte was conducted on Wednesday, June 5. During the hearing of the House panel, human rights lawyer Attorney Chel Jokno stated that more than 20,000 people died in the drug war under the previous administration from July 2016 to November 2017. This figure, he stated, is indicated in a 2017 year-end report from the office of former President Rodrigo Duterte and was mentioned in a Supreme Court en banc resolution dated April 3, 2018. The executive secretary of the Duterte administration was also questioned regarding the report.
There is one number that is unassailable because this comes from the office of the President and was cited in an extended resolution of the Supreme Court. And that number is 20,322 persons killed in the war on drugs.
Who is the president you're referring to?
The former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Your Honor. That number of 20,322 persons killed is only from the period of July 1, 2016 up to November 27, 2017. This is found in the 2017 year-end accomplishment report of the Office of the President and cited in the resolution of the Supreme Court of April 3, 2018.
First of all, those copies, so kung meron man, are part of the privileged communication ng Office of the President. If there was such a report given, ma'am, no, I cannot disclose that because I'm barred. No?
As a result, the Presidential Communications Office is invited and the 2017 year-end report from the former office is sought for the next hearing. Meanwhile, the investigation by the House panel into the drug-related killings is not related with the International Criminal Court or ICC probe. This was asserted by the chairperson of the committee, Manila 6th District Representative Benny Abante. He made the statement after the testimony and appeal for justice of the families of some of those slain in the campaign against illegal drugs.
Hindi kami kontrolado ng ICC. Independent po itong ating ginagawa dito.
Abang Lingkod Party List Representative Caraps Paduano further stated that whatever findings the committee gathers during the hearings, they will submit them to the relevant government agencies under the Executive Department. The aim is to achieve justice for the victims of drug-related killings.
Sana maramdaman niyo po yung bilang isang ina kami, paano naghirap doon sa mga pinalaki mong bata ng maayos, di ba po? Ang masaklap pa po, pinatay na. Pinaratangan pa ng kung ano-ano. Yun po yung masakit dun eh. Yung may drugs, nanlaban. Paano naman kaming inang nagpalaki doon sa bata?
Sa gera kontra droga na inilunsad ni dating Pangulong Duterte, hindi po nabawasan ang droga. Tao ang nabawasan kasi po pinagpapatay sila. Hindi nga po namin masabing gera kasi walang kalaban-laban silang pinapatay.
Now we'll just submit this committee report to the proper agencies. No? And it's up to the executive department, to the proper agencies, whether to file a case against all those person supposedly magiging liable in this investigation. And it's up also to ICC to request such committee report, not in this house, not in this house, not in this committee, but to the agency in which we will recommend. Kung Ombudsman yan, so be it. Kung Office of the President, so be it. But not us. Because we are conducting an inquiry in aid of legislation.
Representative Abante also encouraged other relatives of victims of drug-related killings to attend the hearings and file appropriate cases to hold those responsible for human rights violations accountable. According to their lawyer, these individuals still fear repercussions even though former President Duterte is no longer in office.
Your Honor, the psychosocial support that we provide to the victims takes years. It is re-traumatization for them to retell their stories in a public
This
scenario
committee,
and with
Attorney
other
Conte,
policemen,
has
Your Honor.
promised protection for them.
Yes, Your Honor,
This
we
committee
understand.
has promised protection for them, and I am going to lay my life on the line on this.
We thank
That's the
you
reason
for-
why we are now investigating this.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Suspended Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo is expected to file her appeal before the Office of the Ombudsman tomorrow, according to her lawyer. Guo wants to lift suspension imposed against her. Dante Amento tells us why.
Attorney Stephen David, legal counsel for suspended Bamban Tarlac Local Chief Executive Alice Guo, said his client is innocent of the allegations against her. Thus, Guo will file her plea or motion for reconsideration tomorrow, June 6, at the Office of the Ombudsman to lift her 6 months preventive suspension.
Ang sasagutin natin, siyempre yung reklamo, yung mga allegations. Yun naman ang nirereklamo sa kanya pag issue niya ng mayor's permit.
David explained Guo did not err when she issued a mayor's permit for the operations of the Philippine Offshore Gaming Operator or POGO by the Zone U1. It has allegedly completed the requirements such as the license from the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation or PAGCOR.
Ito naman kasi Zone U1, itong POGO na to, compliant ito. Una-una, meron siyang lisensya ng PAGCOR. Meron siyang ginransya na mag-operate ng POGO. So kung gano'n, ano ang magiging reason ni Mayor Alice? Bakit hindi siya mag-i-issue ng mayor's permit?
Guo's camp believes that the Ombudsman would reverse its decision, hence they are not considering another legal remedy yet.
Alam mo, si Ombudsman very fair yan, ha? Kung makikita niya yan, I know very fair yan. Makikita niya na dapat talaga i-lift yan. Sa akin paniwala, ha, talaga. Kaya hindi ko kino-consider pa yung ibang avenue about that.
Meanwhile, Attorney David stressed that they had not hidden anything and the suspended mayor would fight for her case.
Alam mo, wala kaming problema doon. Wala kaming tinatago, boss. Alam mo, lahat ng dokumento, dala na nila. Nung ni-rate nila yung lugar, kinuha na nila lahat ng dokumento doon. So, wala kaming tinatago. Maganda yan. Okay lang yan.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, has confirmed that no new eruption in Mount Kanlaon monitored today. The agency, however, says they have observed lahar flow occurrence in some areas. Asher Kadapan Jr. tells us why.
Steaming in Kanlaon volcano as well as ashfall in some areas were reported, leading to fears of its another eruption. But the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, confirmed that no new eruption in Mount Kanlaon transpired today, June 5.
Wala po tayong eruption na nangyari po today. Most likely po, baka po ito yung mga abo na nailabas nung nag-erupt siya. And then i-entrain po, yung po bang nadadala ng malakas na moderate steaming na nangyayari sa Kanlaon, or pwede rin po siguro na pinangay ito ng hangin.
Meanwhile, PHIVOLCS affirms mud or lahar flow in some areas, particularly in southwest of Kanlaon volcano. The agency has yet to determine its extent and volume in affected areas, but PHIVOLCS says those are ash brought down by downpours from the mountain.
Nagkaroon po ng pag-ulan sa lugar, so ito po ay nadadala po ng pagdaloy po ng tubig mula po sa ulan. Pababa po. So galing po ito sa taas.
PHIVOLCS reiterates caution to affected communities as alert level 2 remains hoisted in Kanlaon volcano. Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Lahar flow was observed this afternoon in Barangay Biak na Bato in the municipality of La Castellana, Negros Occidental, prompting the local government unit to implement forced evacuation. Gladys Tuabi will tell us why.
Around 2 in the afternoon of Wednesday, June 5, residents in Barangay Biak na Bato in La Castellana, Negros Occidental were surprised to have seen lahar flow, prompting some to voluntarily evacuate. However, the local government unit has then initiated forced evacuation to all the residents living in the area to avoid worse scenarios.
It's only a sign that the alert level 2 will not go down. Mag-i-increase, but there's a possibility mag-i-increase to alert level 3. This is ito na po yung mga senyales na tinitingnan natin, and there's a possibility na lumalato kung magsigi-sigi po yung ulan. Kung patuloy pong lalakas yung ulan at uulan pa, so we will not expect anything na masesecure na kuha natin sa kanila. So ang kailangan po natin gawin is to forcibly evacuate lahat po ng tao dito sa Barangay Biak na Bato.
4 evacuation centers have been designated to accommodate the evacuees, including Municipal Evacuation Center, La Castellana Elementary School, La Castellana National High School, and Kabakulan Elementary School. If rain continues to pour, authorities have said worst-case scenarios are possible. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, the United States House of Representatives, led by the Republicans, has passed a bill to sanction the International Criminal Court, or ICC, over Israel. The measure came after the ICC prosecutor's decision to warrant arrest for Israeli officials over the war in Gaza, and said that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israeli Defense Minister Yoav should also be arrested. On Tuesday, June 4, the vote was 247 to 155, which was also backed by 42 Democrats. However, it is not expected that the bill will be brought up to Senate for a vote and be passed as law. The U.S. Senate is controlled by the Democrats, while U.S. President Joe Biden also strongly opposes the bill and the proposed sanctions. But if approved, the sanction would block the ICC officials' entry into U.S., revoke their visas, and restrict them from U.S. property transactions. Meanwhile, ICC prosecutor Karim Khan has previously voiced out that they have reasonable grounds to believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu, his defense chief, and 3 Hamas leaders bear criminal responsibility for the alleged war crimes. A recent decision by the European Union could potentially deliver billions of dollars per year to help Ukraine. The United States and G7 countries has made progress on discussions regarding the use of profits from frozen Russian assets. Early Biones will tell us why.
The United States and its Group of 7 or G7 partners are progressing with discussion on how to grant Ukraine a loan of as much as $50 billion in near-term funding by tapping the value of profits earned through frozen Russian assets. According to Assistant Secretary for the U.S. International Finance, Brent Neyman, lending a significant amount upfront to Ukraine would provide an immediate fiscal boost, and repayments to the loan could be linked to future windfall profits. The United States has been pushing its partners, including Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan, to grant Kyiv the loan, which has now emerged as the G7's top option as they continue to disagree over seizing the assets outright. Profits from the frozen assets amount to an estimated $3 billion to $5 billion each year, according to U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. White House spokesperson John Kirby also highlighted that the assets are held all over the world, so monetizing them would have to be decided together with allies and other countries. Early Briones, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harlene.
Thank you, Elsie. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. A lawmaker has renewed her call to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to immediately order the banning of Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO in the Philippines. This comes after the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality held an executive session today on POGO operations in the country and its alleged link to Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Ontiveros says it is established during the executive session with various government agencies that POGOs are a threat to national security. She urged the National Security Council during the closed-door meeting to ask the President, who sits as its chairman, to ban POGOs in the country.
I doubt na hindi pa nila ever na pag-usapan ito. Ilang taon na itong problema ang mga POGOs mula pa ng panahon ni Duterte Ang dami-daming masasamang epektong dinulot at kung hindi natin ito tutugunan ngayon decisively, mananatiling at magiging mas malaki pang problema ito sa mga susunod na taon. Ano pa bang inintay natin? Gusto pa ba natin na magpatuloy ito? Bakit?
Meanwhile, the opposition senator also disclosed that the issue hounding the identity of Guo has yet to be answered. Hontiveros maintains that Guo has ties with the raided Pogo in Bamban.
Hindi pa rin mas kumlaro yung identity niya kahit sa executive session. So kung ano yung hirap niya pagkatapos nung nakaraang hearing na sabi niya linisin ang kanyang pangalan, hindi po nabawasan yan. Baka pa nga nadagdagan. Walang nakabawas o nakabura dun sa namumuo talagang opinyon ng komite na siguradong may kinalaman siya sa Pogo Hub dyan sa Bamban.
Guo was not invited to the executive session, but a representative from her camp submitted her personal letter of explanation where she denied the allegation that a Chinese national named Lin Wenyi is her biological mother. She also maintains that she is not a protector of Pogos and further asked to be given the opportunity to be heard. In other news, Bagong Alyansa Makabayan o Bayan Group wants to focus their attention to the investigation of the International Criminal Court or ICC and the Congress in relation to the war on drugs of the Duterte administration. They clarified that this does not mean that they have no plan to file criminal cases against those involved in the issue. Jed Neresina details why.
The Bagong Alyansa Makabayan or Bayan Group expressed support in the investigation of the International Criminal Court or ICC in relation to the war on drugs that happened during the term of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Bayan Secretary General Muang Palatino said so far they have no plan to file a case against former President Duterte. He said they wanted to focus first on what the ICC is doing in relation to this, but that doesn't mean they have no preparation for it.
Ang problema kasi pa nag-file tayo ng kaso dito ngayon, pwedeng gamiting argument ng Duterte camp na bakit pa may ICC? Tapusin muna itong final na kaso dito sa local courts.
In relation to this, he said the current administration should support the ICC investigation.
Sa tingin ko dapat ito ay enforce ng pamahalaan. Kahit hindi tayo miyembro ng ICC sa ngayon, tayo ay miyembro pa ng ICC noong nangyari ang tokhang. So ito ay hamon sa pamahalaan ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr. na respetuhin itong proseso ng ICC, hayaan na mag-testify ang mga opisyal ng pamahalaan, lalo na ang pulisya kung kinakailangan. At the same time, kung ano man yung gamiting na mga dokumento sa ICC, ay pwedeng maging batayan din natin sa paghahabol ng mga kaso dito sa Pilipinas.
Moreover, it was also very difficult to file a case while Duterte was still sitting as president. So now they are happy with the Congress hearing even though this should have been started before.
Wini-welcome natin itong ginagawa ng Kongreso, no? Na pagdinig about kung ano ba talaga ang nangyari noong tokhang. In fact, dapat noon pa ito ginawa.
He said that a lot has happened after the year 2016-2017 and it's possible that some have forgotten the issue. According to the Bayan Group, the war on drugs is not over up until the current administration, so they wanted that the drug problem must be addressed and extrajudicial killings are not the solution. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police confirms the arrest of 4 policemen, including a police major, for kidnapping 4 foreign nationals in Pasay City last Sunday, June 2. Aside from 4 police officers, the PNP reported that there were 10 other civilian cohorts. Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, Secretary Benher Abalos considers the 4 policemen as member of syndicates.
It's a syndicate dahil tignan mo, more than 2 or 3 who group themselves for a common illegal purpose, no, would be termed as a syndicate. That
The 4 foreign nationals riding a luxury sedan were flagged down by 2 motorcycles while traversing Taft Avenue in Pasay City. 2 of the 4 victims tried to escape while being dragged inside the white van. They reported the kidnapping incident to the barangay. 2 of the remaining victims paid 2.5 million peso ransom in exchange for their freedom. The National Capital Region Police Office, or NCRPO, already filed kidnapping for ransom, robbery, and carnapping complaints against the 4 police suspects. The MRT Line 7 is already at almost 70% progress rate, according to the Department of Transportation. Jed Neresina will tell us why.
After more than 8 years since the construction of MRT Line 7 began in 2016, the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, reported that it is already almost 70% complete as of last month. Assistant Secretary for Railways Georgette Aquino announced that the railway is expected to have partial operation by the end of 2025. Only the 12 stations in Quezon City will start operation. Those are North Avenue, Quezon Memorial Circle, University Avenue, Tandang Sora, Don Antonio, Batasan, Bangahan, Doña Carmen, Regalado, Mindanao Avenue, Quirino, and Sacred Heart.
Inaasahan po natin na magiging operational ang first 12 stations, no? 12 stations by end of 2025.
Meanwhile, the Tala station in North Caloocan City is expected to be operational by 2026. It is the 13th station of MRT 7. However, the San Jose del Monte Bulacan station will be the last to be completed as it faces right-of-way issue. The DOTR will still negotiate with the local government unit of San Jose del Monte Bulacan to look into their proposal for the MRT 7 station.
Pag-aaralan namin yung kanilang pinopropose na alignment. Hindi naman po hindi kami nagkasunduan ng LGU at ang DOTR, pero sa pagtutulungan ng LGU at DOTR, tinitingnan din natin kung ano yung mas mabuti, no, at mas mapapakinabangan ng mga constituents ng San Jose del Monte at ng ating mga pasahero.
If the whole railway system will be completed, it is expected to transport passengers from North Avenue in Quezon City up to San Jose del Monte, Bulacan by just only 35 minutes. It can cater 500,000 commuters on a daily basis. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. has reported to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. the latest harassment by China against Filipino soldiers. According to General Browner, the President has instructed the institution to implement maximum tolerance in the West Philippine Sea. Ryan Lacanlale details why.
Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. has spoken with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. regarding the harassment by China on May 19. This involved an incident where members of Chinese Coast Guard seized one of the 4 packages of food and medical supplies intended for soldiers stationed on BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal.
In general, ang bilin po ng ating Pangulo ay wag nating hayaan na mag-escalate yung situation. Kaya nga po tayo mga Pilipino, ang ginagawa po natin is that we are practicing maximum tolerance.
According to General Browner, the President's instructions are maximum tolerance, follow the law, and do not let the tension escalate.
And we are practicing activities that promote international law. In other words, ay hindi po tayo lumalabag sa mga batas international.
The President also strictly instructed not to imitate or retaliate against China's actions.
We were discussing this with the President and he said, no, do not use our water cannons against the Chinese. No? So in other words, what he is trying to give to us or order us is that we should always maintain the high moral ground, no? Dahil tayo, sumusunod tayo sa batas. No? Yun po yung gusto ng ating Pangulo. At yan rin po yung kanyang in-emphasize, no, dun sa kanyang speech sa Singapore during the Shangri-La Dialogue.
The AFP assured that it will continue to conduct rotational and resupply mission to Ayungin Shoal and other maritime features in the West Philippine Sea, that part of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The general added that the president's position, which he also highlighted in the recent speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore, has garnered support. In fact, many countries have expressed their desire to support the Philippines' stance on maintaining peace in Indo-Pacific region, offering assistance in areas such as military capability development and joint operation exercises.
So napakarami pong mga bansa, and that is very heartwarming for us to know that a lot of countries around the world support us in our endeavor to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific, and also to promote an international rules-based order.
Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, United States President Joe Biden has imposed sweeping asylum ban on U.S.-Mexico border that would prevent most migrants to enter the country. Ann Gonzalez tells us why.
Migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally could be quickly deported back to Mexico under President Joe Biden's latest sweeping asylum ban. The White House emphasized in its recent statement that the high number of migrants, which averages over 2,500 a day, exceeds the southern border's ability to deliver timely consequences.
Frankly, I would have preferred to address this issue through bipartisan legislation, because that's the only way to actually get the kind of system we have now that's broken, fixed, to hire more Border Patrol agents, more asylum officers, more judges. But Republicans have left me no choice. Today I'm announcing actions to bar migrants who cross our southern border unlawfully from receiving asylum. Migrants will be restricted from receiving asylum at our southern border unless they seek it after entering through an established lawful process.
The measure will reduce the burden on Border Patrol agents and will continue until the number of unauthorized crossings falls below a daily average of 1,500 for 3 weeks.
This action will help us gain control of our border, restore order into the process. This ban will remain in place until the number of people trying to enter illegally is reduced to a level that our system can effectively manage.
Restrictions will be reinstated if the numbers rise again. Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security confirmed that unaccompanied minors and individuals identified as victims of human trafficking are exempted from the decree. However, key operational measures on how they would deport migrants from distant and uncooperative countries remain unclear. Biden's extensive asylum ban resembles similar policies that had been implemented during former President Donald Trump's administration. Biden has intensified his approach to border security as immigration becomes a key issue for Americans ahead of the November 5 elections. Ann Gonzalez, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Elsie Marcos, live from Auckland, New Zealand.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands, and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament. There is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, it says, "But refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness." And those are the reasons behind the news, June 5, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Harleen Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Ang nangyayari, yung iba nasa office lang, nagkakaroon ng duplicity of work, yung ang report ni Chief PNP, ang sabi ng Pangulo, tama yan, para imbis na nasa opisina yung mga pulis, at least nasa baba. Importante sa grassroots.
There is one number that is unassailable because this comes from the Office of the President and was cited in an extended resolution of the Supreme Court. And that number is 20,322 persons killed in the war on drugs.
Who is the president you're referring to?
The former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Your Honor. That number of 20,322 persons killed is only from the period of July 1, 2016 up to November 27, 2017. This is found in the 2017 year-end accomplishment report of the Office of the President and cited in the resolution of the Supreme Court of April 3, 2018.
First of all, those copies, so kung meron man, are part of the privileged communication ng Office of the President. If there was such a report given, ma'am, no, I cannot disclose that because I'm barred. No?